Yeah, so it was Sunday, April 10th. Let's see, it was very close to Easter, I think the week before, and Paul had been experiencing leg pain for maybe a few days. And, I thought nothing of it, and I think Chris did at first too. But when he kept on complaining of it, and then he spiked a fever, she noticed the fever. She had the, kind of the gut reaction to check.
We took him to the ER, the emergency room at Children's, Nebraska, and they did some blood work, and it was pretty quickly they realized that he had leukemia. It took about a day to figure out exactly what type of leukemia he had, but he was diagnosed with B-cell acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is B-cell ALL.
Those first 9 days were very touch and go. We were right next to Paul, and they run tests to figure out what kind of cancer it is, what type of leukemia it is, and then they get into percentages, and that's another spot where it becomes very real for you. That is very heart-wrenching to go through. That's something that'll stay with me for the rest of my life.
We've never dealt with anything like this in our lives, and it was a huge shock. Paul, kind of the things that everybody knows about with cancer. Paul lost his hair due to chemo. He had a lot of muscle weakness, a lot of aches and pains, a lot of nausea. It's hard to keep a kid's spirits up when they're feeling so awful for so long and going through so much pain, and that the chemotherapy is the medicine they need to help them beat cancer, but it really takes a toll on his body.
100 times in the kitchen just over there where, we had put the kids to bed for the night and kind of just deep breath or try to take deep breaths and hug each other and say, is it real that we're going through this? And, you say your prayers and I guess you go on for another day.
I was Paul's wish granter, so I was able to come and meet with the family, learn all about, Paul's diagnosis, all of his favorite things, what he likes to do, all about the family, and then really learn that he really wanted to be an astronaut, and so that we were able to take that idea and make his wish come true.
What I love about space is history. The first astronaut to land on the moon.
Clayton Anderson was, so wonderful to meet us when we went to the Strategic Air and Space Command Museum. He took the time to talk to Paul and explain what he had done as an astronaut. It's not just people you read about in books, but he got to meet an astronaut and really understand that real people can do that as a job someday.
You're going to Kennedy Space Center. Where is that located,
Florida?
Florida, exactly. And what I think you should see first? Go see the Atlantis exhibit. Have you heard about Atlantis? Do you know what that is? It's the name of a space shuttle, and it's the name of the space shuttle that I flew on when I went to space my first time. So are you ready to go? Are you ready to launch to the Kennedy Space Center? Let's go, check this stuff out.
We kind of coaxed out of Paul that he wanted to do the space trip, and so Florida was a destination, and from there everything just kind of clicked into place, and it was awesome.
Paul wished to be an astronaut and go visit the Kennedy Space Center. So once Paul was done with treatment and had a little bit of time to recover, we flew down in October and we stayed on the beach. We had 2 amazing days at the Kennedy Space Center where we got to see the whole Space Center. We got to meet an astronaut, and it was just really special.
My favorite thing was seeing the rocket launch on the beach. It's like you can go to different places, and there's different planets, And my favorite place was Mars because I got to experience what an earthquake was like because I heard a rocket blasting off and I felt it.
My favorite thing was probably seeing the rocket garden and watching the rocket launch.
My favorite thing at the Space Center was Planet Play.
You know, finding out relatively early on in Paul's treatment about Make-A-Wish, just the idea of being able to go to have a wish granted really was kind of a beacon of hope for Paul and something to look forward to when he was going through really hard times.
You know, Make-A-Wish made this possible, and we don't have to worry about anything, you know. Everything was taken care of. The hotel was excellent. The transportation was taken care of. We are forever grateful to Make-A-Wish for making that happen. It was the perfect kind of conclusion, and again, the opportunity to, as a family, kind of collectively exhale. And again, I go back to the, standing on the beach with the family, all 5 of us kind of looking out and saying, this is incredible. So,
going on the trip once Paul had finished treatment really was a wonderful celebration of what we'd all been through as a family, and celebrating what Paul had accomplished and what we'd all accomplished.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.